Hello, crafty friends. I'm Yana Smakula. Welcome back to my channel. I rushed to film this video and finish this video before I leave for my Germany trip. I'm going to the Creative World show in Frankfurt with Spellbinders in a few days, and I really wanted to get this video done before I leave. I'm sharing cards with the Spellbinders Fresh Picked collection. This video shows how using different shades of color can dramatically change the look and also the emotion of your card. I also have 2 more cards made with products from this collection to share, but I don't have a tutorial for them. So I'll just show you the cards and I'll just walk you through the process. Now first, let's take a look at this collection. If you ask me, this is a modern perfection. It is so good. The dies and the flowers are big and bold. You know, they take up the entire space of an A2 card, but they can also be used differently and they can be mixed. In fact, I just watched a video by Dawn Walslagel and oh my goodness, did she rock this collection. The way she combined dies and the way she used different die cuts, it is just so inspiring. I have her video linked below, so be sure to check it out. Anyhow, there are 6 products in this collection. There are 5 die sets. One of the die sets is a sentiment set. And also there is 1 embossing folder. Now the 4 other die sets are florals. Bold, beautiful, modern, inspiring, you name it. These are just out of this world. You can see many different examples on the Spellbinders website on the product pages, so be sure to check that out. Now, there is also a bundle with 5 dies. The bundle does not include the embossing folder, but it does offer a nice discount. So if you think that you like this collection, go ahead and get the bundle. You will love it. And then you can either get the folder separately or you can use any other folder that you might have in your stash. Now, these dies work well on a plain cardstock background, and most of my cards just use a plain cardstock background, but you can also add an embossing folder background if you like. I have 1 card that showcases the embossed background. Now, my favorite die set is the Fresh Picked Anemones, of course. And this is the die set that I'm using in my video to show the different looks you can get with different colors of cardstock. There's also the Fresh Picked Buttercups, and oh my goodness, these are so good. Even though some petals are kind of trimmed to fit the edges of your card, you can still use them. You can still group these differently. You can still combine them with other products, with other florals. Now, the Fresh Picked Berries is another beautiful set. I really love how large these berries are. I don't have anything similar. I don't have anything like that in my stash, and I've not seen any dies like that on the market. So I think this is a brilliant die set. Another one, there is a Fresh Picked Daffodils set. Now, I don't have an example for this one because like I said, I was rushing to finish this video, but goodness, this is a beautiful set and those flowers are just giant. Another die set, which is fantastic. This can be used all year round and it can be used with all of the other dies and stamps and products that you might have in your stash, is the Fresh Picked Sentiments. So this just includes several sentiments. You have smile, thanks, bloom, hello, hi, make a wish, and for you. And these are very large. The letters here are connected, so you're not fussing around with separate letters. You just die cut a word and it's ready. And I really like the size of these. So you die cut this. As you can see, I have die cut mine from glitter cardstock. I use the Spellbinders glitter cardstock, and then you just add a sub-sentiment, and that can be a foiled sub-sentiment, it can be a stamp sentiment, it can be a better press sentiment, whatever you like, and you can really create lots of different combinations and variations with these. And lastly, there is the columns embossing folder in this collection. It is very beautiful. You know, it has a very simple, a very modern, a very sleek design. I embossed it at an angle and I just love the way this looks. So this is the look at the products included in this collection. And now we can jump onto the video tutorial. So here I have the Anemones dies. You can see how large they are, and I have grouped them by type. So I have stems on the left, then I have the petals on the right, and then I have the dies to die cut the flower center. Now here I have my colored cardstock swatches, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select several colors or several shades of cardstock. I want to die cut these flowers from blue, and I want my card to be monochromatic. So I want to use shades of blue, and I'm just looking at all the different shades of blue that I have in my stash. So here I have picked about 5 colors. First, I have the Spellbinders Indigo cardstock. Next, I'm going to use Spellbinders Cosmic Sky. I really love how vibrant this is. Next, I'm using Spellbinders Partly Cloudy. I'm using my paper trimmer to trim these to smaller, more manageable size. Next color I'm using is Raindrop. And then the last color that I will be using is the Spellbinders Glacier. This is the lighter color. It's like the most perfect light blue out there. Now, I also have a sheet of Spellbinders Gold Glitter cardstock and a sheet of Spellbinders green cardstock. I will be using the green for the stems. So it's not a completely monochromatic card. I do have a little bit of color variation, but for the most part, I'm using lots and lots of different blue shades. So I die cut the stems from green cardstock, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them together. So I have 2 of each die cut, and I really like to add sturdiness to my die cuts, so I'm gluing 2 pieces together to have one sturdier piece. If I have time, I will even glue 3 or 4 pieces together to have a thicker and dimensional die cut for my card, especially if I'm not planning to pop this up, if I'm not planning to add foam adhesive. And I will not be adding foam adhesive behind these die cuts because, well, that stem, it is just too delicate, it's too fine, and I won't be able to fit a foam strip behind it. And if there won't be a foam strip behind it, it's going to sag. And I don't want to have any sagging on my finished card, so I'm not going to be foam mounting. I will be adhering these onto my background using glue. I'm using Barely Arts glue. I have the finest tip on it, and I'm just adding little dots of glue to glue these together. I went ahead and I die cut flowers from the other 4 shades of blue. And I also die cut 1 layer from white because I felt like white would look really well with the Glacier cardstock. So what I'm doing here is I'm just using a darker shade for the background for the back part of the flower, and then I'm adding a lighter shade on top. Now I also die cut the flower centers from Gold Glitter cardstock. The Spellbinders Gold Glitter cardstock is very thick. So I have found I had a little bit of trouble when I was using the center dies to create the centerpiece die cuts. I had a little bit of trouble popping the die cut dots out. So what I did is I switched to the Simon Says Stamp cardstock, Gold Glitter cardstock. It's thinner and thus it cut better. If you're cutting just a regular shape without too much detail, Spellbinders cardstock works really well. Plus it's super thick, so the die cut holds well. But for these flower centers, I do recommend using thinner cardstock, and the Simon Says Stamp Gold Glitter cardstock worked perfectly. I'm using my tool-in-one here. You can see that I'm kind of struggling to pop all of these die cuts out, but I wanted to include this and I wanted to show you this in this video so that you know what kind of cardstock is best for this piece. I also have this paw. This one's actually very squishy, and it works well with tool-in-one because you can just roll the tool-in-one over your die cut, and this helps to push all of the negative bits out of your die cut. I have some of my flower centers die cut from the Spellbinders Gold Glitter cardstock, and then some from the Simon Says Stamp glitter cardstock. I have pre-planned my flowers. I really like how they look. I added black centers or black cardstock behind the gold centers, and the black was cut from the Spellbinders brushed black. That's, as you know, guys, it's my favorite black because it has a little bit of that beautiful shine to it. Here, I also experimented using white cardstock behind the center die cut, and I switched to a black centerpiece. I didn't quite like that. I still feel like gold looks a lot better just because it's just, you know, it's classier. It looks better. It looks more, I don't know, not festive. It just looks better, I think. I went to the Spellbinders website on my phone and I opened the example, the card example. If you want to assemble these dies the way they are meant to be assembled, it is helpful to go to the website and look at the example on the website because it is kind of tricky to put these together if you don't know how they are meant to go together. I used the example on the website and I selected flowers, different color flowers, to create my card. I did not want these flowers to be all the same color. I wanted to have a little bit of variety, so I'm just using different flowers here. I added a hello die cut, and because I only had 4 flowers, I felt like I needed a 5th flower. I wanted to have an odd number of flowers on my card. So I added this bud from the other die set. I die cut the bud from the same colors of cardstock. And to me, this bud looks like another anemone flower that is about to open and about to bloom on my card. I used foam adhesive squares to assemble my flower die cuts. Now to finish this card, I decided I needed to add gems. So here I'm adding a ton of opal gems. I'm using my tool-in-one to pick them up and transfer them onto my background, and I just love the result. I made 3 cards using this die set. Here you can see all of them together using different colors of cardstock. I have different shades of cardstock used for the background. And then the flowers are all made using the same colors of cardstock. So you can see how totally different and how very dramatic these cards look. So the one in the center uses Spellbinders indigo cardstock. It is the most dramatic. Then the one on the right uses the Spellbinders glacier cardstock for the background. It is the most soft. And then the one on the left uses Spellbinders cosmic sky cardstock. So I encourage you to experiment with different colors of cardstock and try and create the same design, but use different colors and see what color combination, what shade of cardstock you like best. Okay, I promised to show you 2 more card ideas. So here's one card. This one was created using the fresh picked berries. I'm using dark purple cardstock for the background here. This is the Spellbinders Plum. And then the other purple berries were die cut from the Spellbinders Lilac Blossom and the Spellbinders Purple Mist. I also have yellow berries just because I really like the look of purple and yellow and green, especially for my spring cards. So the yellow berries were die cut using saffron, and then the background for the yellow berries was created using persimmon cardstock. And here's a look at my final card. This one uses the fresh picked Buttercups, and I use the columns embossing folder. So this is the only card where I have an embossed background. I embossed the background at an angle. I really love how it looks positioned like this. You know, it adds a little bit of movement to my card. And here, instead of using all of the die cuts from this die set, I just used one. I did die cut it from colored cardstock, but here I also added coloring. So I colored the stem and I colored the flowers, and then I even colored the flower centers. I used a black pen. I added little dots inside the flowers around the center to mimic stamens. And then I also used a white Jelly Roll pen to create a highlight. To create a sentiment, I added a better pressed one that says, "I'm so sorry." And this comes from another new release, from another new collection from Spellbinders for January 2024. This is from the You Are Everything sentiment press plate. It's a beautiful sentiment set. There are several sentiments, quite a few sentiments included in there, and there are coordinating dies available as well. This comes from the Pressed Posies collection. I've not used this collection yet. I do have it, and I'm itching to play with these better press plates, but I haven't had the time to make anything yet. I hope I will make something soon. So this finishes my video. I hope you enjoyed the look at the new Fresh Picked collection from Spellbinders. I hope you'll play with your cardstock and experiment with using different shades. And I just hope you feel inspired after watching my video. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.